Hi guys, welcome to What's Up in Canada. I'm Lana.
I'm Lydia.
Today we're going to talk about 5 steps you need to do when you just arrived and landed in Canada.
Okay, let's go. Step number 1 is cell phone. Cell phone is one of the most important things you have to have because everywhere you go, you're going to be leaving your phone number. So that would be the primary concern for you. You can go 2 routes here. You can either sign up and get a contract, which might be a bit challenging since you're a newcomer, you have no credit history. By that time, you might not have a bank account or credit card, but there are ways to do that. So when you go to a provider, they will give you advice in how to manage that. Or you can take another route, which is prepaid service. So you pay, say, $50 at the beginning of the month, and they give you a certain number of minutes and a certain amount of data on your phone. Whichever route you take is okay, because once you get your phone number, unless you want to change it, it's gonna be with you the whole time, whether you're gonna change the provider, whether you're gonna go from prepaid to contract, from contract to prepaid. Once you get your phone number, it stays with you. It's easy to change providers and keep the number, unless maybe in case you want to change it for some reason, you can go ahead and change it. So cell phone is the
must. Yeah, we would like to recommend the providers as well. So there are multiple providers on the market, but I'm personally using Chatter Mobile. So you're using
using Fido.
Yeah, both are very good. I mean, like, Fido is probably one of the best right now on the market. With the Chatter, I'm just using it for a few years right now, and I'm happy because they're not increasing my payment, right? I'm paying $55 per month, and I have a lot of, like, I guess 8 gigabytes of data. I have unlimited calls around Canada. I have unlimited text messages all over the world, and I have free calls to the US. That's why I'm, like, staying with the Chatter up to now. So Fido also has...
So what Fido has is say what I have. I will tell you. I have unlimited calling, text messaging within Canada, and then 10 gigabytes per month of data. But if you wanted to call to the US, it's either you sign up for the program where you call and 1 minute is 1 cent, or you sign up for unlimited calling and you pay extra $15 per month. So whichever, like, you have to figure out who you're gonna call and how long you're gonna talk to them and see if it works for you.
Yeah, so you choose your number, and then if you don't like the provider, as you said, like, yeah, you can keep the same number but just go to the different provider again. I had that experience. My very first provider in Canada was Virgin Mobile. But after 1 year, I decided to change it, and I found that Chatter Mobile, so I just kept my old numbers.
I started actually with Chatter,
okay,
because it was prepaid. I believe I did not have a credit card at that point.
Yeah, me too.
And I just went with Chatter.
The same.
But then they had Fido had some kind of promotion, and by accident somewhere in the mall or something.
Fido is very good because they have also home internet, like, as a bundle. If you have their phone and the internet, you pay, like, really cheap. They have good deals.
And we have family bundles, so it's even better. The one minus I can say about, like, Canadian cell phone services is that they don't have rollover minutes. Like, those minutes don't roll over from month to month.
Oh yeah.
And for example, and some of the services can share data. So for example, if you have, like, 50, 40, 30 gigabytes for the family, like, one family member used up their data, so you can borrow it from the other. I'm not sure if that's the case with Fido. We try to keep our data separately. I need my 10 gigs and I'm not sharing with anyone. But when you go to the store where they might have a couple of providers there, and you will tell them what you want, what you need, and I'm sure that they will be able to help you with and choose the best plan you can. So step number 2, it's the most important step, I would say, place to live.
That's true. So you're coming as a newcomer to Canada, you have to figure out what your address is, because, like, after you will have to go to Service Canada, to Service Ontario, and all those governmental institutions are going to ask you about your address. So it's good to give them the permanent address that you're not going to change for at least like 1 or 2 years, because later on, if you, for example, if you rent like Airbnb or whatever, you're living at your relatives and you're planning to move out in a short time, and then you do the next steps, right? You will have a lot of hassle just to change your address on multiple websites, and it's gonna cost you like extra time and sometimes maybe even money. So be very mindful when you're choosing the place to live. And remember, if you're a newcomer, you have no credit history, so you have no references because you don't know that many people here. It's good to have enough savings to pay at least half a year in advance for your rent. Nowadays, preferably even 1 year, because it's like COVID time. So you would be secure and safe about that.
There is this thing in Canada that is called AAA. So when you rent something, they check your credit history, they check the reference from your previous landlord, and they check, you have to bring the letter from the employer that you're employed permanently and that you have this and this salary. So since you're a newcomer, obviously you're not going to have any of that. When we came, I'll share my story, we rented Airbnb for the first, I believe, 3 weeks. We had no family or relatives here. So, and in those 3 weeks we were looking for a condo to rent. Although we were prepared to pay 6 months in advance, 3 of the landlords just refused to take us because we are coupled with 2 kids and we are newcomers, and
it was not even COVID
it
time.
Was it was pre-COVID times, but they didn't want to risk it because, say, even if I pay 6 months in advance, then we move in, and it's very hard. People with kids are really protected in this regard, so the law would always be on the side of people with the kids and not the side of a landlord. That's why they're really, really scared to let people in. But the thing, how it works with 6 months deposit, when you give 6 month deposit, it doesn't mean that you're not going to pay your rent for 6 months. You give 6 month deposit, you start paying rent right away. You pay rent for 6 months, and then the other half of the year, 6 months, you live, well, for free, not for free, but
you
the money,
already,
you paid, it's
covered.
prepaid. And then once the year, because usually it's 1 year lease. When you sign the contract to rent a condo or a house or whatever, you sign the contract for 1 year, and then after 1 year you decide if this is something that is okay for you, and also your landlord, because if you are annoying and have bad habits and your neighbors complain or your superintendent complains, they might not want to sign another lease with you. So in that case you will have to move out and look for something else.
But hey, that's what we're talking about when you're using the services of the realtor. The services of the realtor are free, of course. But yeah, you have to have like tons of documents to be qualified for the house. But if you don't have any of those that we listed and you don't have that much savings, the option for you is to look for the places from the owners, right? Directly, you can go to Kijiji, you can go to Marketplace, and just like look for the maybe some Facebook groups like rent, lease, whatever. So you can look for the places there.
Also your communities, like if we are Ukrainian, and say if we lived in the area where Ukrainians live, they would be more willing to help and more accommodating.
Understanding.
More understanding. So wherever you're from, maybe it makes sense to move in the area where people from your country live. And especially if you have friends and family, they might give you recommendations, or there is this thing that's called cosigner. So someone cosigns and says that this person is okay, and should they not pay, you can come to me and I will pay for them.
I will pay, yeah. That's a guarantor, like some person that is in Canada. That person should have like good income, pay stubs,
all that AAA that we mentioned before.
Yeah, credit history, and that person can sign, can put his or her name on your lease and saying, okay, like those people are reliable, I trust them, but in case you have any problems like with them, they are not paying, so you can charge me, like I'm going to cover them. So that's how it works basically. That's why you either have to have money or like super cool family or friends who are going to help you. So, okay, I guess that's all about address. So you will need to figure out your address as soon as possible. Moving on to step number 3, that would be your bank account, because you are coming to Canada. You have a lot of money you are bringing with you, because that's what the government
the requirement
wants.
is.
You have thousands of dollars, you have to open your bank account. And you go to any bank you like, you can do your research. There are a lot of banks. We are both with the TD Bank, there is like RBC, there is a whatever, like Scotia Bank, you go like to whatever bank your friends can recommend you. They are all like governmental nice banks. You open your debit account first, like that's where all your money is going to be. And also banks for the newcomers in Canada give you the line of credit, so you will get your first credit card in Canada, which is the $1,000. That's what we got from TD Bank. So I believe that most of the banks will give you at least $500, $1,000 credit card.
Maybe
just right
even
away.
more now, we don't know, because it's been some time ago, like 5-4 years ago.
Yeah,
maybe they even increased that.
So, and then you can start building up your credit history with your first credit card. And bank account is very important. So to open the bank account in Canada, you need the landing paper. That would
I'm going to show you.
Of PR.
Just one second.
Sure.
I have it here.
Okay.
And so this is this paper is one of the most important documents you're going to have when you arrive to Canada. Before your plastic PR card, permanent resident card, comes. This is the paper. So this is my landing paper. It's called, I blurred it out and it's a copy, so it doesn't look so good. But what did you say the other name for that? Landing paper? Or
it's called confirmation of permanent residence, confirmation of PR, or landing paper. So also like that's your the proof that you are a permanent resident before you receive your plastic card, but also even after you receive your plastic card and your Canadian passport after some time.
Don't lose this.
You keep it because that's the proof that when you landed in Canada, later on when you're going to apply for retirement, when you're super old and have tons of experience in Canada, they may ask to show this paper, so you don't, you keep it. And
so this paper has lots of like colorful red stamps in original, and then here there is very important number, UCI number. That UCI number will be with you for years, because say you are in Canada, 3 months passed and there is no PR card, so you have to call the immigration, and in order for you to find out anything about yourself, you have to provide them with this UCI number. Later on, when you apply for citizenship, your main number that will identify you as you will be again UCI number. And here there is all information about you in great detail, where you came from, your color of your eyes, your height, your weight, everything.
Married, not married,
yes, so
everything.
this is very, very important paper. Keep it. So
they will give it to you when you are at the airport.
Like once you arrive
at the airport, you will go to the officer. So that's the first Canadian document you're gonna have. And so that's what you have to bring when you go to the bank to open your bank account. You will have to bring the passport, like from your country. You will have to give them your address as a proof of address. You should bring the lease agreement, and you have to give them your Canadian phone number and your email address. So
if you don't have phone number, it's fine, because I believe I did not have phone number. I gave them my email address, and then like within maybe 2 days I called them and I updated my phone number in the system. When you open your bank account, so there is checking account, the account where you're going to be transferring money, getting the money, like your salary maybe, because there is this thing as direct deposit. Some companies will give you like physical check that you will have to deposit. Some companies will just get the information of your bank and will transfer the money automatically. There is saving account where you would like put away some amount of money monthly or whatever, If you have kids, there are lots of options. Please ask questions, because for the kids you can set up the account where they can automatically take some amount of money from your account, put it in the kids account, like college fund, and that money is not taxable, and the government adds 20% on top of that. So be aware that if you have kids, you have to ask some questions, like how to secure your kids' future and like their college education. That's important part. Number 2 is in bank. Usually when you open the account, there are some checks included. You don't have to pay for them. You might not use checks at all, because all of the banks now have apps, and through the apps you can pay people, you can do e-transfer. So you don't need any information except for person's email to transfer money to them, to receive the money from someone. So you might not even use checks. I know that you've never used checks.
I never used checks I used when I believe when we were buying the condo, and they asked to give the deposit. So that's when I went to the bank and I asked them to give me the certified check. So that's a specific, that's a very special check.
Type of check.
Other than that, I didn't use checks in Canada to pay for any services. No, I was doing e-transfer all the time.
I had checks. I was there was some kind of deposit, maybe apartment deposit, like condo, or I think for the half.
But now they are okay. Landlords are okay.
They're fine with e-transfers.
They even prefer e-transfer.
And with e-transfer, you can track your transactions. So say you want the printout of whatever happened 2 years ago, you can easily do that. And with e-transfer, the very important thing is that the money goes to the account of whoever you're transferring to almost instantaneously. Where check, you have to deposit it, you wait, because with checks it takes more time.
Exactly, yeah. So
I think we're done with banks.
Banks are done. All right, let's move to step number 4. After you have your cell phone, you have the place to live, you opened your bank account, you have to go to Service Canada. So Service Canada, it's an organization where you can get your SIN number. Again, it's we have different experience. I got my SIN number right at the airport together with this confirmation of PR paper. You got
I had to go to Service Canada actually. So SIN is social insurance number. And when we came here, someone told us, I did long research, and I knew that we were going to be needing that number. So we actually physically went to Service Canada. It didn't take long. If you have kids who are under 16, you do it for them. If they are older, you have to bring them with you. It's just 9-digit number, I believe.
Exactly.
And there you will have to bring all the same documents that you would bring to the bank. This paper, you would bring your passport, and whatever we mentioned before.
So you need the SIN number. It's very important. Every resident of Canada, either citizen or permanent resident, must have the SIN number, because that's how you pay your taxes. Even if you don't work first year in Canada, you still must file the taxes, and you will put you earned $0, but you need to have SIN number and file your taxes. So you need SIN number to be employed, right? So your employer will ask you to give them the SIN number, because that's how they are going to give you to deposit money on your debit card, and some part of your money they will transfer directly to the IRC, and that's basically how they are going to withdraw your taxes. And to build your credit history, so you also need
at the
SIN
bank
number.
They will ask you the SIN number, or if you don't have it, they will give you the account. They will open account for you, but later on you might want to update it. That's because right. If you're in the process of buying your place, buying your car, that's how they would check your credit history, if you're a reliable person and if you're trustworthy, and if they can give you that credit line actually.
Exactly. So that's all. If they don't give you SIN number at the airport right now, when you come to Canada, you just go to Service Canada.
I saw actually that now, maybe because of COVID, you could do it online. I don't remember if that option was available when we just came. We went physically, but since with COVID, there are so many things that can be done online. We will leave the link for
all the services. You can
whatever
always
we're talking
check.
about, we will leave the link and you can see. Because if you can do it from home, perfect. You can just do it from comfort of your own home.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Let's move to step number 5. So step number 5, you have to go to Service Ontario. It's very similar institution as Service Canada, but in Service Ontario, you must do 2 things. You can apply for your Canadian ID and driver's license, and you need to apply for the OHIP, that's Ontario Health Insurance, whatever, like health card, right? So you need to bring the same documents, and for the driver's license, it depends. If you don't want to drive, if you want to do it later, you can just apply for ID. You will have that plastic card with your picture. So when you go to Service Ontario, get ready to be photographed. That's why, just
be prepared. Have some makeups, hair, because I'm gonna share this short story with you. A couple of months ago, I had to do something at Notary Public's office, and the lady asked me. She took my driver's license, like, "Is this really you?" And I'm wearing mask, and I'm like, "What is she asking? Why is it like?" And she says, "Could you take your mask off?"
Oh my God.
And I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I did not ask her whether I look worse now or I look maybe better now. Hopefully I look better now than I looked in my picture.
She didn't recognize
you. The picture is not too bad. I mean, it's not, because driver's license is like this blue plastic card and the picture is black and white.
Yeah.
So, and she asked me, "Is it really me?" And I would say I look like myself in the picture, but I was so hurt, and I thought to myself, maybe I can go and just ask them somehow to change my picture. So the point of this story is, if you're gonna get ID, if you're gonna get a driver's license or even health card, because for health card you need your picture taken as well, like, look good. Don't think that you're just gonna have plastic card. They're gonna take your picture actually.
Yeah, they will put your address there, your picture, and
picture, address, date of birth, and the ID number, because it's a government issued ID. So if it's just ID, you take your picture, you give them all of the papers, and you get ID in mail within like 10 to 14 business days.
That's true.
If you decide that you're going to drive later on and you want to get your this driver's license that is called G1, you can prepare for the
computer test.
Yeah, computer test. So you learn the rules, like
the signs and the rules. That's right. Yeah.
And you take the test. Once you pass the test, you get G1 driver's license, which means you can drive with experienced driver by your side, and you can practice. And then later on, you will take the test and get your G2 driver's license. So I took this path actually, and it was very nice because you don't have to get ID first and then
me too.
Driver's license.
Have the ID. I just went straight away to get the computer test and get my plastic G1 driver's license.
Even if you're not gonna take driver's test right away, you can still have a G1 driver's license because your experience starts counting at that point. So it's a good idea. Even if you plan to take your test in 2 years, just get done with this test.
Better get the computer test and get G1 as soon as possible. That's a good point, because later on it will count towards your driver's experience, and your insurance will be much way cheaper. So the more driver's experience you have, the cheaper your insurance is
Actually, we have the plan for a video regarding driver's licenses, because it's a
big chunk of information. That's a video for another.
For sure.
That's a story for another video.
Yeah. And health card, regarding health card, if you have kids under 15, they don't have to come with you. The kids under 15,
Good for them.
There is no picture on their health card. Speaking of health cards, so you will not get coverage right away. You can apply for health card once you come, and when you apply, you will get this piece of paper that will have your information, and it will have actually your card number, but you will not be able to use it for 3 months. Even if you get your card in mail sooner, because usually card comes after 3 months, but in some cases it can come early. It doesn't mean that you can go to the doctor's office and use the card. If you go there, they will swipe the card and they will see that you're going to be eligible in some period of time, not right now. So first 3 months in Canada, you have no health coverage. So here I want you to think about buying insurance. I did get insurance because we came with 2 kids and we came in November, so there was winter ahead and we were really scared.
Snowy,
yeah, and like me, I have mild case of OCD. I say mild because I'm trying to flatter myself, but people that who know me, I'm not sure they would say it's mild. So again, I will tell you the story. On our way to Canada, on the plane, I start feeling not too well and I have this pain in my right here. And right away my mind goes to, oh my God, appendicitis. What am I gonna do? We are on our way to Canada. We planned this trip for so long. It took us so much time and money and effort, and here I am. I'm going to arrive to this beautiful country and I'm going to go to the hospital.
Straight from the airport, they will take you.
And with like the lights, whoa, and everything. And then they're going to charge me thousands and thousands of dollars because it really is very expensive.
Covered.
Yeah, I'm not covered. And then like right off the plane, I'm going to be in debt. You know, no place to live, no car, no nothing. And I'm going to be in debt. Oh my God, I was so like upset and panicking. And so when we came to Canada, the pain is still there, and I started looking for insurance companies to buy insurance. I found a very nice lady who gave me many options, and I was able to choose something that was right for me and my family. It wasn't that expensive. I was surprised pleasantly, I must say, because for both my husband and me and 2 kids, we paid around $400 for 3 months.
That's a very good
So that
price.
was a very good price. It included lots of things. It covered
including
like all
appendicitis
surgery. But you have to remember that when you pay for your insurance doesn't start working
on the same day.
Yes, it takes 24 to 48 hours for insurance to kick in, because say like I have appendicitis and I call insurance and right away I call ambulance and I go and to the hospital. So they want to kind of insure themselves from people doing that, from like you break your leg, then you call, you get
scammers.
insurance.
Exactly.
So that's why it takes some time for insurance to kick in. But I have to tell you, once my insurance kicked in, I had no pain anywhere.
Miracle happened. You got
yes, miraculously. I was, I was healthy and I was happy. And thankfully, we have not used our insurance. Like Lana told me, it's good to have insurance, but it's even better not to use it. So if you're like me, like overthinker and crazy person. If you have kids, if you know that your husbands have maybe hard or dangerous job, but if you come in winter, like look outside of the window, it's snowing, it's very easy to slip and God forbid break something. So it's better to have coverage than not. I will leave the contact information for the lady that helped me. In no way am I advertising her. If you have friends and family, they can advise something, but if you want, you can email her and she will give you the quote for the insurance. So
I didn't have health insurance. I was safe and sound, thanks God. So I just
no OCD there?
No, I just started using my health card after 3 months when it arrived, and I was good.
Yeah. So the recommendation that I want to say here, like when you come, try to arrange for all of these things to happen in the first week or 2.
2 weeks max, yeah. Because later on, when you luckily like go to school or to work or volunteer, whatever activities you're gonna get involved in Canada, you will literally have no time to do that. And it's just not nice when you start your work and then you're trying to get some day off and telling your employer, you know what, like I need the day off because I need like this and that document to take care of. So just like when you arrive, try to take 2 weeks off, maybe up to 1 month, just like you take your time, you like go here, there, because all those places that we've mentioned, you need to book an appointment. It's not like you show up and they will take you right away. Sometimes they may, sometimes they may not. So
especially with COVID, you have to remember that everything is more complicated now, and there are lines, and also those are government institutions, so they don't work.
They are slow. They are slow. So that's why don't get stressed, don't get frustrated. Just like it will happen when it happens. We all have different experience. You will have yours, and hopefully that ideas that we shared with you today will help you in some way to plan ahead a little bit, but you will be there, no worries.
Yeah, so it took me about 2 weeks to get this all done and ready, but because I had to do research as well. I had no one to ask, but because we shared our wisdom with you,
share good vibes.
Yeah, hopefully it will take you a shorter period of time to get this done. So whoever wants to come to Canada, we wish you well, and we hope you come here. Whoever watches, because we are two beautiful ladies telling you about Canada, thank you. Like us, subscribe,
share with your friends, and see you in our next videos. Bye.
Bye.